2 months ago, I gave a hot barista my number. He was at work. I saw him. I was interested. We had a conversation. It went really well. There are videos about it on my page, and you can kind of follow the saga. But I got a lot of comments on my original Meet Cute video where I explained our interaction. I got a lot of comments like this, demeaning him for his job. And it makes me really fucking angry. So here.
How dare you guys? How dare you demean a Chad due to him working serving coffee, right? How dare you? Because as we all know, for the average man, you have to earn the 6 digits. You have to be a provider, you have to own your own home, your own car, you know, you have to be hardworking, which just stands for making a load of money, right? But if you're Chad, hey guys, come on now, don't insult this man for working as a coffee barista. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the desert. We're gonna take a look at this one that is quite insufferable. We've covered her on the channel. Massive body count, lot of tattoos on the hands, very bad dating prospects. So we're gonna take a look at her, and then the rest of the video is gonna be basically me having a meltdown due to something that I saw instead of the article story. But for now, guys, before we move on to that, let's continue with this woman.
Makes me really fucking angry. So here's the thing. People are not their jobs. I am of the opinion that we do work, we do labor to earn money to live. I am not my job, you are not your job. Maybe for some people that's their whole personality, but let me just give you an example from my past. So currently, I'm a bartender and a waitress, and there are some bartenders out there who make 6 figures a year doing what they do. I'm not one of them right now, but I'm not going to judge somebody based on what they do. There is so much more to a human than their job title. Circling back, I got
Yeah, again, guys, there's so much more to a human, to a man we're talking about, other than their money. For example, their body. Like, that's what it boils down to, guys. Do you have a good body, a good face, and do you have money? When they're younger, they're willing to sacrifice the money for the body. When they get older, they tend to sacrifice the body for the money, right? But if you're the average good guy who has like 7,000 good qualities, sorry though, you're not a Chad. This is why you're probably gonna stay a virgin up until your 40s in this modern day era, right?
a little distracted there. I'm currently a bartender. What you don't know about me is I have my bachelor's degree in chemistry. I graduated first in my class, and I sold cars for several years and did make 6 figures. So right now with me bartending, I'm doing fine. I'm doing this because I am choosing to while I decide what's next. So you never know what is going on in somebody's life or why they are in the position they are in. This man was actually going to go back to school and get his master's this fall in social work. He loves working at the coffee shop. Out west where I live, coffee shops are thriving. This is a huge business and a very important part of the community. And he was a lovely human being. So I am not going to look at somebody and be like, they're a barista. No. Maybe you will. Maybe that's not what you're after, but you know nothing else about the person or their situation. So if they are happy and they're paying their bills and they're a good human, that's what I care about.
Yeah, sure. What a yippee-yay kind of video, guys. The yippee-yay vibes, right? I feel like I'm watching like a show for three-year-olds. It doesn't matter how much you earn, it's just about being a good person. Now, someone might say, right, Hidan, why are you so harsh on this woman? She's such a lovely individual. Guys, cover this woman on the channel. It was 2 weeks ago. She made a video saying how she's touch-starved, right? You can find it, touch-starved. And she wants to be touched in between the legs by some child. She doesn't want to be touched in between the legs by just about anyone, right? Like, cut this whole nonsense of trying to, which her point is valid if it was genuine, which is not, but her point is valid. I also really don't care what you work in. But this whole spiel, guys, when in reality she just likes him because he is attractive, and the average guy she will never look at if he was working a barista. Give me a break with this woman. But now, guys, how long is the video? 5 minutes. Well, you're gonna forgive me, guys, but we have to switch the topic, alright? And this is not dating related. This is something I just had to get off my chest. This pisses me off so much. This is the no insults challenge where I'm gonna cover this topic. But what you're seeing here, guys, take a look at that cut, right? That cut is very important. Very important. As Ampu is gonna get a bit startled seeing a cut, but don't worry about him. The point is, I follow this page on Instagram, right, that covers morbid stories. And this person right here is unboxing a katana that later on he uses to massacre people, right? I'm gonna play the video while I read the news. On April 30, 2024, 37-year-old Marcus Arduini Monzo launched a 20-minute rampage in Hainault, sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, East London, driving a van into a local man, then pulling out a 60-centimeter samurai sword and stabbing at will. His first victim, Donato Iwule, was flung into a garden and slashed in the neck. Bystanders watched in horror as Monzo moved quickly like a predator, searing through flesh with a single-minded fury. Moments later, 14-year-old Daniel Anjorin walked to school, oblivious behind his headphones, until Monzo's blade nearly took his head off. Daniel collapsed in the street. He didn't stop there. Responding officers were slashed. One PC suffered deep wounds to arm and head. Another nicked in the hand before Monzo forced his way into a family bedroom, his sword raised above a sleeping family with a child present. He shouted, "Do you believe in God?" as they scrambled to escape. Reinforcements cornered him in a backyard where he finally dropped the blade only after getting hit with taser rounds. Days before, he'd skinned and deboned his own cat, named Wizard, claiming it was against me by negative forces. He filmed himself unboxing the sword, calling it freaking sexy. He nodded to conspiracies, psychedelics, and spoke of alternative personalities, even referencing the Hunger Games. This wasn't a crime of opportunity, it was a savage, choreographed hunt carried out down suburban streets and into families' homes, and it ended not with remorse, but with him falling to his knees in delight over an unalived schoolboy. Right, I'm gonna let it play for a while more, so you can see all the details. Just, guys, an absolutely terrifying story. This man is a psychopath. This is not a real person. This is a damaged machine for evil. This is a nymph. This is a demon, not a human. Just carried out this. I hadn't known about this news, by the way. I don't know how there was not like a news cycle that reached me in 2024. I just found out about this yesterday. So you can look at the news on Google if you're interested. But what I'm going to talk about is not about this psychopath, but rather about the psychopath who wrote a comment on this, alright? I read, guys. This is a comment with 500 likes. "Rip to the little furry angel he mutilated. People who torture animals are hellspawn." So again, there's this psychopath who unalives a 14-year-old boy and hurts multiple people and causes trauma, long-lasting, lifelong trauma to multiple people. And you have this moron in the comments saying how, oh no, the little cat, the poor cat. And here start some comments. First one, what about the 14-year-old boy? Who'll give a crap about the cat? Reasonable response, right? You have this massacre on the streets and the first thing you comment is about a cat? Here comes another moron. Both of these morons are women. Not to say anything, because I've seen a lot of men making the same points. But yeah, most often than not, it's women who make these dumb animal arguments. But there are a lot of men, so I'm not gonna gender this. But this other person says, while everyone is talking for the kid, there should be someone talking for the cat. At least don't get frustrated about that particular single comment. Live a good life. We have a peaceful person right here, guys. No, everybody's talking about the kid. There's someone who needs to be talking about the cat. Yeah, and there needs to be someone talking about the ant that this lunatic stepped on his way to decapitate a 14-year-old boy. Why is nobody talking about the ant that got stepped on? You know, this person, guys, when he finds out that an ant has been stepped on, he's gonna turn into a ball of rage and anguish because, oh no, we need to find someone who writes a comment about the ant. This is so insane. This is, guys, as if, and I'm gonna be a bit detailed here, and I apologize beforehand, but I really want to get this point straight. Imagine you are on Thanksgiving with your whole family, right? The whole family is there, and a lunatic walks through the door, and he just starts this massacre. He unalives everybody but you. The cousins, nieces, parents, grandparents, your aunt, your uncle, everybody. Just this massacre. Everybody is unalived. And then he runs off. And then the neighbor comes through the door, and first thing he asks is, how is the cat? And then you tell him, are you a retard? Are you brain dead? There's this massacre. Bodies all over the floor. Why are you talking about a cat? And then another person pops out the door and says, well, a lot of people are going to see this and are going to be worried about the unalived people. There's someone who has to be worried about the cat. It's just so insane. This is absolutely insane. I can't stress enough how retarded these people are. I continue with the comments, guys, because they get worse. And I'm going to pause this video. We've watched it 300 times already. This right here, I think, is the boy that got... So the way I understand it, he was walking to school with his headphones on. And he just didn't know that there was a lunatic behind him, because why would you? You're just walking through the street listening to music. And this psychopath walks behind you and slashes your neck from behind with a katana. And this 14-year-old boy didn't make it. He passed out. Right? But we have to worry about the cat, though. I'm gonna play some gameplay while I continue reading these insane comments. I just had to talk about these, guys. Another one says, I can care about both. Obviously, both are tragic. Mourning an animal torture doesn't take anything away from the poor child, too. They both deserve better. In principle, yes. But again, it's so inappropriate to be talking about a cat when there is a 14-year-old boy who got his head removed from his shoulders nearly. Right? Do I need to point this out? Again, go back to the Thanksgiving example I gave you. Do I really need to be pointing this out? Another one says, we can care about both. Here comes the biggest moron, guys. And this is the only argument, well, quote-unquote argument, doesn't reach an argument, that I hear from these animal worshippers. And why not care about the cat? Humans are horrible and animals are innocent. My hell, guys. Am I tired of this argument? Animals are not innocent, right? They simply aren't. They're not on the same moral frequency as humans. They simply aren't innocent, nor guilty either. Saying that an animal is innocent is the same as saying that a table is innocent. That is just a blank statement. That is an absurd statement that holds no meaning. Because if like a cougar, not the 40-year-old woman, but the animal cougar walks into your property and unalives your dog and eats it, will you take that cougar to court and say, that cougar is guilty, he stepped on my property and broke the law? And then the lawyer of the cougar stands up and says, no, my client is innocent. No, it's absurd. And it's absurd because, again, animals are neither innocent nor guilty. They are animals. They don't have a moral background because they don't have thoughts. They don't understand law. I need to be explaining this, guys, and I know it's idiotic, but some people really don't understand it. They don't understand it. Animals are not innocent. They are just animals. They're acting out of instinct. So they're not innocent. But even if we were to judge them according to human standards, animals are not innocent. Animals are the equivalent of the caveman times. They are in constant war, which you hear this argument thrown too. Oh, animals never wage wars. What do you mean, bro? It's literally what they do all day long. From dusk till dawn, that's what animals do. They wage war over territory. They wage war over resources. They wage war over the procreation. That's all they do all day long. They are in constant war with each other. What are you talking about? They grape each other they eat their offspring. They sometimes literally get bored of their kids and like throw them away. There are species that do that. If we were to judge them according to human standards, they are not innocent at all. They are terrible. They are horrifying. They're horrible creatures. But it's absurd to say that they're horrible because, again, they're not moral. They are simply animals. You can't blame them for it, right? Because they're acting out of instinct. So it's just so absurd. This argument is so absurd. Have these people watched even a single hour of National Geographic? Because if they will know that animals are not innocent, even according to human standards. Such an absurd statement, and it's the only statement, the only argument that these animal worshippers will ever throw at you, because they have nothing more. It boils down to, but animals are cuter than humans, and but animals are innocent, which both statements are just retarded. But let me read some more, guys, because the cringe doesn't end here. Another one. This is the original post of the comment. Abba's Girl 24. So this is a 24-year-old white girly, a feminist, you know. My hell. And she says, humans have overpopulated the earth 100 times over. This is another retarded argument. When I was reading The Little Prince, which is my favorite book, this is when I was 12, the author of that book said that you can fit all of humanity in a small town, in like a small city or something, you know. Now, granted, that was written in like 1940s, if I recall correctly. The Earth population since then has grown exponentially, but still, guys, we can literally fit all humans on Earth, shoulder to shoulder, in the state of Texas. All of them. The billions of Chinese, the billions of Indians, and all the rest of the world. We can put them shoulder to shoulder in the state of Texas, alright? What overpopulation are you talking about? These retards, guys. Oh, it's this fear-mongering about the... Oh no, Earth is without resources. No, it's not. Alright? Just because there's this, you know, evil corporation that is feeding off the resources of like 7,000 poor villages, that is bad management. That is not Earth is out of resources. Earth is not out of resources. Earth is not overpopulated. We can literally go 7,000 more years without the Earth being overpopulated, alright? So tired of this argument. Do these people, guys, have they read a single book in their whole lives? It's not, dude, you have the internet. Just, you can Google this and in 5 seconds find out if the Earth is overpopulated or not. But these people literally base their whole world understanding on the brainwashing pamphlets that they read. They probably read some dumbass article this one time in their life, and they never stopped to question what they are now defending with their lives. My hell, the Earth is overpopulated. You know what? Why don't you take yourself out? If the Earth is overpopulated, please do. Please do us all a service and just remove yourself. And you save the world. Hey, if it's overpopulated... My hell, let me read some more. There's a few comments defending the sane point that you should not be talking about a cat when there is an unalived 14-year-old. So there's some common sense here. This moron that said that we can care about both still writes, my point still stands, you can care about both. No, you can't. Go back to the Thanksgiving analogy I gave you. Just retarded, guys. Another one here says... sorry, I'm just reading there. Thankfully, there's a lot of comments that defend the sane point, but there are a lot that are just insane. And you know what, guys? I really hope that these people, the animal worshippers, I really hope they are vegan. I really do. Because if you're gonna be pretending that the life of a cat is equal to that of a 14-year-old boy, I really hope you're a vegan, you motherfucker. If I go to your home and I see that you have a nugget there, alright, I'm gonna get a fork and stick it through where the sun don't shine and pull it out away from your mouth. These morons. If animals' lives are so sacred, really hope you're not eating any meat, alright? If you're gonna go with your bastard retarded point, go all the way. If I find a piece of meat in those people's homes, I'm gonna go apeshit. And you know what, guys? The truth of the matter is, they don't even believe in their arguments because they're so retarded. they're just so retarded. You know why? Because if these people that are writing these dumbass comments, if they are riding a truck and they walk over a cat, right? A stray cat tries to cross the street, and sadly they step on it with the truck, right? They can't hit the brakes on time. They unalive the cat. They're probably gonna get off the truck, go see the damage, say, "Oh no, damn it!" They're probably gonna cry, maybe. All right, they're probably gonna think about how they unalived the cat for a week, maybe. But afterwards, they will forget because it's a freaking cat, right? They're gonna forget after a week. If they, however, are driving a truck and they walk over a 14-year-old boy and they massacre him and they'll get off the truck, they'll be like, "Holy crap, no!" They'll see the boy with his skull tore open and they'll be like, "No!" And they'll probably have a long life trauma, all right? And they will never stop thinking about that boy they massacred, even if it was an accident. They'll never stop thinking about it. While a freaking cat, they'll forget in a week. You can be sure about this. So they themselves don't believe in their retarded argument. They really don't. But again, if you honestly believe that animal lives are equal to that of human lives, you are a psychopath unfit for society and you need to be locked away immediately. But the truth of the matter is, most people don't. Most of these morons, they don't really believe their own arguments. It's just they are so stupid. They are so stupid that they cannot understand it. They are stupider than a snail. They are retarded. Right? I will grab these people, guys, and I can get really detailed on YouTube. But think of the Final Destination / Jigsaw moment that you want. I will just lock them up next to a cat and say, "Okay, you pick. It's either you have to go or the cat has to go." So what do you think will happen in that situation? When the fire starts burning up these people's behinds, do you think they're gonna say, "You know what, man? Animals are more innocent than humans. I can go. It's alright." No. They'll be begging for their lives like the dirty cockroaches that they are. So why not just be honest with it, you know? Animal lives are simply not as valuable as human lives. And the good thing about this is that it doesn't really matter what your religious background is. If you believe in God, or in Christianity at least, in the book of Genesis, God has said how humankind has possession and rulership over animals. So there you go. If you're a Christian, that's your belief. You're above them. If you're not, though, if you're an atheist, I can't pronounce quite that word, but if you're an atheist, you still believe the same, because survival of the fittest, right? We are the motherfuckers that rule this world. We are the intelligent ones, not like the dumb animals that eat their own poop. Survival of the fittest. We are the ones who are in charge. Deal with it. We're unaliving these animals. If I want to eat them, boom. I'm gonna unalive 50 of them, you know, and make a necklace out of it. Survival of the fittest. It's like whatever you believe, humans are simply superior to animals and more valuable. These people writing these comments have such a dumb take, such a retarded take, that in so many years of humankind, literally nobody has come up with a philosophy or world understanding that can mirror these people's retarded beliefs. They are so dumb. My hell, guys, do I get pissed. Again, if you lock them up, ask them, "Hey, do you want to go or does this cat have to go?" You pick, you know? You make your choice. My hell, are these people retarded. And I had to cover this, guys. I had to cover it because I see these comments so often. So often. "Oh, humans are terrible. Little animals, they're so innocent." They are dumbass animals, alright? They are stupid animals. And don't get me wrong, guys. I would absolutely risk my life to step on the middle of the highway to save a little puppy that is trying to cross it, alright? I absolutely will. I will risk my life trying to save a puppy from the highway. But these people just make me so mad that I have to get on here and crap on the whole animal kingdom to make the point clear that people are 1,000 times more valuable than animals, right? I would skin alive 1,000 puppies to save one child, and I won't even bat an eye. And if you don't think that, you're honestly a psychotic person. You have to be thinking, who is a bigger psychopath? The one with the katana going on a rampage, or these morons talking about a cat instead of a 14-year-old boy? My hell. And you know what guys? I'm gonna finish with this. Yesterday, when I was thinking about this, I was in bed, just going to bed. I was fuming about this. I recalled a something that happened, a talk that I had with my father. I was around 5 years old, right? Maybe 4, maybe 6. I was around 5 years old, and I remember this conversation with my father because he asked me, "Would you rather save a small puppy or a small baby?" And I thought about it for a few seconds, and I said, "A small puppy." And he told me, "Why would you do that? A baby is way more valuable than a puppy." And, you know, I stopped to think. I didn't know really why, so my father figured it out for me. And he told me, "Oh, because you find little puppies to be more cute, right?" And I said, "Yeah, I just find little puppies to be more cute. This is why we'll save a little puppy other than a little baby." These people that are writing these comments have the same mindset of that of a freaking 5-year-old. What does that tell you? Like, you are actually so retarded, so brain dead, you're so effed in the brain, you're so damn unimaginably unintelligent that you as a 20-something-year-old have the same set of beliefs of that of a 5-year-old. Because at age 7, I could already probably understand why and how human lives are more valuable. These dumbasses are like 5 years old. Isn't that crazy? Why do I have to share a world with these freaking idiots and imbeciles? Holy crap, guys. If I had the power, I'll lock them away. I treat them nicely, you know? I'm no bad boy, guys. I treat them nicely. I'd feed them once a day. No meat, though. No meat, because animals are sacred. Just salary. How about that? Just salary. 1 time a day, just salary. And then they have like the psychological, hours with the psychologist to try to explain to these dumbasses, indoctrinated, brainwashed, brain-dead morons why a human life is more valuable than that of an animal, and why when there is a 14-year-old decapitated boy, you should not be talking about a freaking cat, right? So when they understand that, they can get back to society. Otherwise, just stay there, eating your freaking celery, I think you call it. Anyway. But that's it, guys. I can talk about this for hours. I can talk about Harambe, right? That gorilla. I can talk about Harambe for a freaking hour. I'm so pissed about this whole thing. I just needed to get it out of my system. So, if you stay till the end, I hope this entertains you. I hope you also get fuming mad when you see these retarded comments and you can find some, just some sanity out here. I hope you do. And we're gonna end with a quote from Socrates, who said, "I will rather prefer a dictatorship led by a wise man than a democracy of imbeciles." Because those people writing those retarded comments have the same vote as you. It's equally as valuable. Their freaking retarded understanding of the world counts the same as yours. Right? They've never read a single book in their lives. Their vote counts the same as yours. Isn't that absolutely outrageous? These people can vote. They can decide the fate of the state, the country, and the world. These retards, my hell. So yeah, I find it really hard not to agree with Socrates on that one. But guys, thank you for watching. Again, I could talk for an hour more, but I'm gonna shut up finally. It's been 25 minutes. Leave me your thoughts and your opinions about this, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one.